Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Reborn 13 podcast with the Genie. And today, man, do I have another wonderfully exciting podcast ahead for you guys, because we are going to be going in deep on how to achieve optimization of your mind, body, and spirit, and essentially find the balance between the three so that you have the utmost clarity and focus throughout your day to be able to go out there in the world, enjoy it, find peace and love, and be able to achieve your goals and essentially do what you came here to do, which is to create a better world. We are going to be focusing primarily on your diet and nutrition and the states at which your body rests in, recovers in, and grows in, and how to adapt and change with them so that you can develop the best diet, nutrition, and also develop the best habits that create this optimization going forward in your life, because the optimization is the basis of your being. So to optimize that, to optimize for your mind, your body, and your spirit, you are then going to create a strong foundation, or the strongest foundation, for which you can build upon, for which you can grow upon, and for which you actually have the utmost energy and power to go out there and change the world. So, without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. I Again, do not want this podcast to be that long. However, there is a lot to get through, so bear with me on that. But I'm going to try and keep it around the 30-minute mark and not let it go too much longer than that. But who knows, because I cannot foretell the future. Anyway, to get straight into it, we're going to start off with a quick what is on the menu. No pun intended. For today's podcast, and what we're going to do is go through all of this in as much detail as I can. I will say from the start, I am sorry if I forget or miss out some parts on here, as I am likely to do so, but I'm going to try and cover absolutely everything on here. And also, it's not going to be linear, so it's not necessarily going to be this to this to this. I'm going to kind of hopefully combine them all together to give you a full picture of the optimal way to go about your diet and nutrition. Now, this comes from years and years of experience myself. This is from a place of putting all of this that I'm going to reveal to you today into practice with myself, finding what did work, what didn't work, what benefited me, what just set me back, all of these learning processes that I've been through over the years, and also with everyone else which I have guided, which I have taught, which I have instructed over the years. All of that knowledge is what I'm going to give to you in this podcast. But what I want you to know is that when it comes to diet and nutrition, the most important thing to understand is that it is so personal, and that there is no one diet, no one nutritional plan that is going to optimize for everyone. This is the most important thing to grasp throughout this entire podcast, is that I'm going to reveal to you the knowledge and understanding which I have gained through my own experience, but that doesn't necessarily make it true to you. And that what the purpose of this podcast is to provide you with that knowledge, whereby you can then go away and try, experiment, and implement and learn yourself on how to do so. But I want to give you the means, or the knowledge and foundation, whereby you actually have a clear sight of what is going to benefit you and a clear sight of what is going to destroy you at the rawest level. And then you can go from there and tweak and test it so that it works best for you. So when it comes to the foods, we're going to kind of be touching upon the acidic and alkaline types of foods and what that means, the raw and living, how that affects your testosterone and estrogen, junk and processed versus organic and grass-fed, an anabolic versus catabolic diet, cooked versus uncooked food, and the contaminants that are in our food supply. I'm then going to go on to kind of identifying the goals, which comes to what you actually want to achieve from this optimization, i.e. do you want to heal with detoxification and cleansing? Do you want to lose some weight, lose some fat? Do you want to build muscle, build strength? Or is it just purely a recovery, a reset, you know? And then keys to success, I just kind of want to touch upon these, and like I said, it's all going to tie in together, but listening to your body, chewing your food, quantity of food, breathing, and intermittent fasting versus prolonged fasting. Obviously, a lot of these go without saying, but they're such simple things which we almost forget, and that by going over them in a little bit more detail, it is going to kind of re-clarify in your mind the importance of the very simple fundamental things that we overlook, and how much they can be a part of your entire habitual lifestyle. So, very quickly, we have a short disclaimer, so just going to run through it nice and quick. All views are my own, that goes without saying. This is from my experience, this is from my interpretations, and they are my own views, but I'm giving them to you on a basis of what I've discovered as a truth within and all the knowledge which I have attained. Thereby, they should be relevant to you, but how they affect you is completely down to you. Raw truth does not care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your feelings, but it is there to support them. It's there to help them develop and grow, and for you to be able to better and deeper feel in the world. Take what is beneficial for your spiritual growth and discard the rest. If what I speak to you doesn't necessarily resonate with you, then by all means just put it to the side. Take what resonates, take what allows you to grow and develop, and then return to the other things potentially later. And please do not try any of the information contained herein without first consulting expert advice and guidance. I just simply have to say that, but really you're probably not going to get this type of information anywhere else in the way in which I'm going to piece it together today. So obviously take it with a pinch of salt, seek your expert guidance, but the ultimate expert is within. Right, so we're getting straight into this. Where I want to start, acid and alkaline. So I'm going to bring you, oh, not to this one yet, we're going to come back to that, over here. Now, if I can somehow get these both on the page. So, as you can see, one of the most overlooked aspects to finding the optimal diet and lifestyle, nutritional habits for yourself, is understanding the pH scale and the way the pH affects your body and your mind. Now, the pH stands for potential hydrogen. And as you can see here, as many of you may have heard of the pH scale, it is basically an indication of the potential hydrogen in whatever it is you're measuring. So in this case, it will be your blood. And if you understand that everything in the universe, or you could say the universe itself, is balance and harmony, staying within the neutral zone is going to be most fundamentally beneficial for you along the long-term outlook. However, depending on your shorter term goals when it comes to optimization, going to a more alkaline diet may be better for you, for example, because what it may allow you to do is detoxify, is to cleanse, and to move closer to that inner master within, which allows your body to be rid all of the toxins and the crap chemicals and all of the blockages and everything that has been stored up from years of destruction and onslaught with these terrible foods that we eat in our Western diets, and to allow your body to re-find its natural balanced state of harmony and flow. Now, a lot of what the Western diet is based upon is an extremely acidic diet. And obviously acidity is corrosion, and corrosion hardens and just makes almost everything in your body deteriorate and fall apart and destroys it essentially. So what we need to realize is that the standard American diet, as you can see here, is sickness. Now, sickness isn't necessarily bad as long as you learn from it. Most people think that sickness and their illness is just this thing which comes to us on a daily, not a daily basis, that'd be horrendous, but on this kind of weekly, monthly basis, that we just fall sick and we stay in bed for a couple of days and go over it. No, the sickness is there to tell you that you are out of balance, that you are out of harmony, and that you need to change something. And it's essentially making you stop what you're doing. That's why we get into bed and we have no energy, so that you can reassess. Your body can detoxify by producing the mucus, which allows it to be rid of all the crap which you have stored up, and then you can then go away and go, okay, something wasn't right, let me change this. Now, the standard American diet is just pure processed crap food, unfortunately. That is just the truth of it. Now, what you kind of want to realize here is that your consciousness dictates the kind of foods which you desire, which you crave, because your consciousness is going to dictate your entire being, essentially. And the higher you vibrate in your consciousness, in your conscious awareness, the more you're going to realize how the foods are affecting you, and then you're not going to want to eat the crap foods, because you can understand the message that is contained essentially within the energy of them, which is to just bring you down and make you feel like crap. So, tying in with the pH scale, what you can see is that the healthier you go with your diet and with the foods that you choose, the closer you are to the alkaline end of the spectrum. However, as I said, everything is balance in the universe, and that does not essentially mean that you want to literally live up here, or that you can only get sunlight and that should be your only diet. No, because that's ridiculous. What you want to do is to be able to develop a diet which has the ability to incorporate all this entire spectrum, but one which you are able to stay in harmony and balance with throughout the day, one which doesn't negatively affect you. So you're not just eating purely destructive, processed, dead foods, and you're not just living off the absolute light magnetic energy of the world. You want to find that kind of basis where you incorporate it all, because what that will allow you to do is to live the fullest you can in the world. That way you don't have to retreat from the world with which you live in, but you can incorporate it to a point whereby you go to certain ends of the spectrum that maybe sometimes you will feel slightly worse and sometimes you will feel amazing, but you know that you can then return back to the harmony. Now, what I mean by that is that, let's say at the minute you're feeling particularly lacking of energy, and that your body feels particularly weak, and that you feel like you're suffering each day, like you feel as if the light within isn't shining to its fullest potential. You may want, for a particular length of time, maybe it be a couple days, maybe it be a week or so, where you move to this ultra high end spectrum, so that you can just feed your body with that intense light energy, with that super intelligent mastery of the universe, to go into your body to get rid of all the crap, whereby when you then come back to a normalized diet which allows you to live in the world optimally, in our current world, then you will feel better for it, because your body will now be able to better digest, better utilize these standard organic foods. So it's about finding that balance. Now, if we keep this going, hidden fact: food has a frequency. Ultra processed foods are between 0 to 5 megahertz, organic foods between 50 to 60, superfoods, higher lume foods, plants are 160 to 210. Medicinal substances like herbs, Irish moss, shilajit, and medicinal mushrooms are between 210 to 20. Consuming these high frequency substances have been regarded by yogis and monks as a way to raise your own frequency, which can result in heightened consciousness, vitality, higher thought forms, and stronger intuition. As the picture shows, everything in the universe has a vibration. So when I'm talking about the intelligence of the universe itself, when I say that you may want to move up to a more alkaline based diet to first detox, what I mean by that is the closer you get to the alkaline stage, the alkaline state, the more your body is going to be picking up from that ultra high end frequency spectrum of light, which is going to be able to do the work because it contains the prana, the life force energy, which is the ultimate intelligence, because the purest form of light is the purest form of intelligence out of which everything spawns, whereby you can then start to get to that place where the balanced state is pure and detoxified, and that everything is working optimally from that state. Here you can see dead versus living food. So you have an apple, which you can see is full of life force because it's alive, and then you have a slice of meat, dead rotten tissue and cells in the stagnant blood. Now, what I want you to realize here is that meat in itself isn't necessarily bad, okay? Depending on your goals, depending on what you are trying to achieve from your diet, maybe you have gone through years upon years now of detoxification. Maybe you have gone to the extreme spectrum of the alkaline diet for months, and you feel like you are pure, you feel like every day you are in a state of absolute bliss and you're just constantly flowing with this peace. But you may find you're lacking that energy of the get up and go and the drive and the jumpingness almost to get out of bed in the morning, because potentially what has happened is you're too alkaline. Now, this is important to realize, because what a lot of spiritually aligned people do is they move up to the higher end of the spectrum, the alkaline diet, but they stay there constantly. Now, don't get me wrong, the alkaline is extremely peaceful, it's open, it's loving, it's joyous. However, you want to be careful you are not then denutritionalizing your actual body itself, because remember, God is in everything, which means that even your body itself, the densest form of what you are, is still divine, and that your body actually runs better sometimes off of certain foods which actually provide it the vitamins, fats and minerals which you may be missing out from staying on a highly alkalized diet, because the point of the alkalized diet is to be rid of you all the toxins and chemicals, etc. Whereas you may find that moving towards a meat, fish and dairy based diet actually may be better for you. Why? Because if we go back to what's on the menu, your testosterone and estrogen levels. Now, you want to be careful that by detoxifying, you don't then denutritionalize yourself, because you're going to be affecting your hormones, and you may find that by moving to a meat, fish and dairy primarily based diet, that will serve you with so much greatness, because what it will do is it will provide you all of the vitamins and minerals and enzymes which you were missing out on before, which is going to allow your body to grow, develop, feel more powerful and stronger. However, it is extremely, extremely important when doing so, if you're going to eat anything which is meat, fish or dairy, that it is organic and grass-fed, and it isn't your junk processed crap that you buy from the supermarket, okay? Because the cows which have suffered their entire lifestyle, which have been locked in these cages, which have been fed these artificial grains diet, which have been pumped full of steroids, antibiotics, and all of these just like the diabolical nature of the factory farming system. What you are going to then be doing is taking in all of that energy, and you are going to be consuming that. You are what you eat, you will become it. So if you are going to move over to a meat, fish, dairy diet, what I want you to be certain of is that you're buying the foods which are free range, which are grass fed, which are organic to the best of your ability, or even to the point where you actually raise your cattle yourself, raise your chickens, whatever it be, grow your own plants, because that is going to be the way which you can be most assured that you are getting the purest form of meat, the purest fishes, and the purest form of dairy in whatever form that comes. Now, this ties in a lot to anabolic versus catabolic, because the alkaline diet itself is catabolic. What it's doing is it's an anti-nutrient diet. It's detoxifying, it's taking away, it's removing, it's purifying. However, an anabolic diet, which is a more primarily meat, fish and dairy based diet, is actually going in. It provides the living mitochondria, which is going to be able to create new muscle fibers, is going to be able to grow, is going to be able to develop your body. So what I have found personally in my journey through this is that a mix between the two is best for your balance, okay? That going towards the acidic end of the spectrum isn't necessarily bad. Coming down here into these foods isn't necessarily bad. It is just knowing which foods resonate with you, again, the personal nature, and knowing which foods are just destroying you, whether it be through the actual food itself, or the way in which you're eating it, or the way in which it makes you feel. And that is where we're going to go on to here next. The keys to success, okay? When eating your food, make sure you are listening to your body. Now, what I mean by this is make sure that you are focused when you're eating. Be conscious of the food. Give your food some respect. Turn off your TV. Stop distracting yourself when you're eating, and come to feel the way in which the food makes you feel. This is the most optimal way to develop a diet which is going to serve you best with every day. You need to listen to your body to know whether you personally resonate with that type of food. When you turn off your TV and you become conscious as you're eating your food, what you will find is that you start to actually properly chew your food. Because just by simply chewing your food, you begin the digestive process with the enzymes in the saliva in your mouth, and it gives your body less to do, which means that you free up more energy once the food has been digested or in the digestion process, so that you can then go on to do other things which allows your mind more clarity and focus. By being more conscious, you are going to be more conscious of the quantity of food you're eating. If you aren't distracting yourself when you're eating, you may find that you don't want the whole plate of food which you would usually eat. You may find that you only want half of it. And all of these things are going to tie in, because it's so important to your optimization. Because when you are aware and conscious of all of these things, what happens is you start to eat in an optimal nature, whereby you're not overfeeding yourself, you're not eating too quickly, and you're also listening to the way in which your body reacts to those certain foods. What ties into all of that? Breathing. Making sure you slow down the speed at which you eat, and that you breathe in between each mouthful. Provide your body the prana, the oxygen that it needs to digest the foods, okay? Now, quickly bringing it back. Identifying your goals. Now, I touched upon this and it's kind of tied itself in, but I just want to bring it back to here so that give you more clarity on this. If you are looking to heal, detoxify or recover, potentially lose fat, it may be better for you to go towards a more alkaline based fruit, nut diet and actually allow your body to be rid all of the crap which you built up. Or you may find that if you want to build muscle, you want to grow, you want to develop, that actually going towards a primarily meat-based diet may be better, because it's going to increase your testosterone levels, which is going to then give you more get up and go in the morning. It's going to give you that energy, that doing energy, the energy that makes you want to move, the energy that makes you want to go out into the world and start changing, start doing things and continue to progress. Now, where I want to go with this, obviously I'm giving you guys so much here, just constantly going on, but I hope so far it has been beneficial to you. If you are enjoying it so far, guys, and you have made it to this point in the video, please make sure to leave a like on the video, as it helps me out so much. Obviously it helps my video spread out to the world, which is going to help raise the consciousness of the entirety of humanity so we can become more loving and joyous. So please leave a like if you have got to this point, and also don't forget to subscribe for more content like this to come. But we're going to keep on going. Where I want to touch upon is intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting. Fasting has been known throughout the centuries, ages, millennia as such an integral part to dieting, because it is the ultimate way to detoxify and cleanse and allow your body to rest and recover. What I have found over long term is that an intermittent fasting protocol, whereby you fast for at least 16 hours a day and you get all your food in within an 8-hour period, has been most beneficial to me and the people which I have helped over this time. But you may find that you want to go into a period of prolonged fasting, because for some people it brings such mental clarity, such heightened awareness and energy, and that actually by moving away from foods altogether, for whether it be 24 hours, 3 days, even a week, even sometimes longer, you can find that you go through this complete and total reset, whereby your body is able to get rid of all the contaminants, all the heavy metals, the fluoride, all of the steroids, the crap, all of the toxins that are in our modern day diet, which allow you to then bring yourself back to a complete and total reset. And then you feel ready to restart a new diet, which is going to actually serve you and keep you in that optimal basis. So guys, to bring it all back to kind of clarify everything which I have just thrown out there for you, everything is energy and vibration. Everything has a frequency. Everything has a level of light, I guess you could say, the intensity of the light. And that what you are trying to do is you are trying to find that balance. But you may find that going to more alkaline or acidic levels may slightly benefit you more, depending on your goals, depending on what you're trying to achieve in the shorter term. But in the long term, what you're always trying to do is stay in that state of harmony, which means you're going to have to experiment, which means you're going to have to test, which means you're going to have to listen to your body over time and develop a diet which works best for you, whereby you know that if you eat something and it makes you feel really bad, it may have been way too acidic for you, and your body saying, no, I don't like that, get away from that. So you know next time you don't go to that food, you try a different food, or you try something which is more alkaline. This is the whole point. And realize that there is no bad in the entire universe. There is just a means to a particular end, and the end is always perfection. However, the means isn't the same for everyone, and that by you coming to listen to your body, you will then be able to move through this scale at will, because you will know the foods and the particular herbs, supplements, etc. that will serve you best along your journey. And then you won't have to rely on anything or anyone else to tell you this is the right diet, that is the right diet, because you will know within yourself what the diet is that serves you the most. Now, where I want to finish off is to bring you over to my Instagram and show you that if you follow me on here, a lot of the time I put up posts of my kind of supplementation routine, of the herbs which I take. Sometimes in my story I show the foods that I eat. So make sure you come and follow me on my Instagram, as I do a lot of kind of reviews of certain herbs, etc., that I found beneficial to me. And obviously not just that, but everything else that is on my Instagram. I review the books. I obviously constantly give you content on enlightenment, in finding that light within. So make sure you come and follow me over here. And then obviously on my YouTube as well, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more content like this to come, because I'm just going to be giving all of my knowledge and wisdom out there, because my dream is for humanity to awaken to their divinity within, whereby we can achieve balance and harmony on the earth again and rebirth this golden age. So make sure you come over and head over to my Instagram, to my YouTube, sorry, and subscribe there. Finally, where I want to finish off is to give you some books to read. Now, these are all books which I have read, and they are wonderful in the knowledge and wisdom with which is stored within. However, what I will say is that each book gives a different perspective, and some of them an entirely different perspective on diet and nutrition. And this is why it is so important to utilize the time that you have alive to learn from your foods, to eat them properly, and to understand which foods resonate best with you. But for just a few books, if you want to develop that foundation of knowledge on diet and nutrition, these are a great place to start for you to be able to do so. But guys, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I'm going to finish it there. I hope you have enjoyed this video, this podcast. I hope you have enjoyed the knowledge shared within, and that you have learned something, and that you have developed your mindset and grown from this. Obviously, optimization is a personal journey. It's a personal discovery that you yourself are responsible for. And the more that you listen, the more conscious you are each day, the quicker the optimization will come and the better you will feel. And when you have an optimal diet and nutrition, what will happen is your energy levels will skyrocket, you'll feel better, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel raring to go with every day. But just know that it's a journey, that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey itself, and that you, if you can come to love the journey, then everything will just fall into place. But I love you all for the support. I thank you for getting to this point in the video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like on the video. Comment down below with any suggestions that you have, any ideas for any videos in the future that you want me to speak about, or even if you want to get in contact with me, if you want to speak to me one-to-one, then obviously just drop me a message on my Instagram, follow me on there, drop me a message on my Twitter, follow me on there at Reborn13, and I will get back to you on that as well. I love you all so much. Stay blessed, stay loving, stay peaceful, and go out there and smash your goals, chase your dreams, because life is there to be enjoyed. I will be back soon with another episode. Thank you once again, and I will speak to you all soon.